Hello and welcome back. I'm Ali, and in today's lesson, we are going to learn three powerful words that will help you speak English more naturally: can, must, and should. These words help you express ability, necessity, and advice. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand the meaning of can, must, and should. You will learn how to use them in your sentences and you will avoid common mistakes. Let's get started. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs help us express ability, necessity, and advice. Today, we'll focus on three of the most common modal verbs: can, must, and should. As you can see, we use can for talking about ability. We use must for necessity, and we use should for giving advice and suggestions. Unlike regular verbs, modal verbs do not change. They don't get any s, ed, or ing at the end. They are always followed by the base form of the verb. For example, I can swim. It is followed by swim. You must wear a seatbelt. She should eat healthy food. The subject is she, but we don't change should. Now, let's look at each of these modal verbs one by one. As I said, we use can for talking about abilities, and also we use it for permissions. I can speak English. She can run fast. They can cook well. Let's look at some examples for permission. First example is, can I sit here? We are asking a permission. Yes, you can leave early. Here, someone is giving a permission. And in the last sentence, you can use my phone. Again, someone is giving a permission. Common mistake among students is using to after modal verbs. After can, we cannot use to. Okay, now let's talk about must. We use must to say that something is necessary or very important. For example, you must drink water every day. I must finish my homework. Think about your daily routine. What is something you must do every day? We also use must for official rules or laws. For example, you must wear a seatbelt. It's a rule. Or we must follow the rules at school. Common mistake here again is using to after the modal verb. If we say he must to go now, the sentence is wrong. So we have to omit to. So the correct form is he must go now. Now let's learn about should. We use should for advice and suggestions. You should exercise more. She should study harder. They should be more polite. Or for suggestions, we use it like this: you should try this restaurant. We should go home now. As you can see, the formula doesn't change. It's all about the meaning. You have to be careful about the meaning and choose the right modal verb to use in your sentences. Now, let's look at the common mistake here. Again, using to after should is incorrect. So be careful. Never use to after can, must, and should. Let's try a fun exercise. I say a sentence, and you choose the correct modal verb. Look at the sentences on the screen. The first one is talking about ability. He ride a bike. The second one is talking about necessity and rule. You wear a mask in the hospital. And the last one is talking about advice. You sleep earlier. Pause the video and think for a moment. What is the correct modal verb to use here? Perfect. For the first one, we have to use can. For the second one, we use must. And for the third one, we use should. Now, let's make it more personal. Answer the questions I ask you in the comments below. What is something you can do? For example, I can ride a bike. The second question is, what is something you must do every day? And the third question is, what is something you should do to improve your English? Also, for homework and more practice, try to write 5 sentences with modal verbs in this lesson. Great job today! Now you know how to use can, must, and should correctly. Let's review a bit. We use can to talk about ability and permission, where must talks about necessity and rules. And also, we use should to talk about advice and suggestion. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more. See you in lesson 12.